Good evening, everybody. We're going to get started. We have a full agenda. So thanks everybody for coming. Does anybody need an agenda? No, good. First, we have a presentation for Trek 2027. So Allison, I'll have you come up. Hello.
Hello.
Do I need to dim the lights, or I think we're good, right?
It's always so weird to talk about these trips because we're leaving for Trek 2026 in 4 days. So I've been talking to our tour guide all day about all the ins and outs and the details. We are so excited. So I get them confused. Bear with me. Those of you who have heard my spiel before, you know what we are and what we do. But for those of you who don't know, we're a group of 7th and 8th graders from the middle school, and we travel to national parks. And we do so many things in between. What I really love about this program is it gives the kids a chance to study the science and the history and the culture. They interact with local cultures. And it's just such a great growing experience for them, being in the hotels on their own, being responsible for their things, managing their money, showing up in airports and restaurants. And it's just such an incredible experience for them. This year, certainly going through the airports is going to be an interesting experience. So just growth all around. We absolutely love it. So anyway, next year, I want to take them to Texas and New Mexico. I was a little leery about this area just because I love the red rocks and that's more my scene. But as I started poking into this area, there's just so many cool things to see. This is going to be probably our most ambitious trek. And I didn't realize it until they sent me the itinerary. I send them ideas all year, and then they send me the itinerary. I'm blown away. 3 national parks, 3 state parks, 2 museums, 7 historic sites. And those are just the things I was identifying. So day 1, we're traveling. We're going to get to kayak the Rio Grande after we get there. So it'll be kind of cool to see, the United States and Mexico, as we cruise down the river. It's gonna be a long day. We'll throw a museum in there. And then I was noticing that each day I feel like you can kind of thematically cluster. So day 2 is going to be all about these landscapes. Oregon mountains, it's just rugged and isolated, and it's been untouched for thousands of years. So we're going to horseback ride through there. And then we're going to head off to White Sands National Park. It's the largest gypsum sand dune in the world. So we'll sandboard. Why not? Mm-hmm. And hopefully stargaze while we're there. I heard that's a great place to stargaze. 3rd day, it's all about history. Three Rivers Petroglyph site has over 21,000 petroglyphs or rock carvings, where they peck into the rocks, dating back 600 years. Then we're going to hike Valley of Fire's lava flow. It's a 5,000-year-old lava flow. Miss Arlia is very excited about that. Smoky Bear Historic Park, I thought maybe would be a little immature for our group, but I was looking into it, and it's actually an incredible park, and it's all about environmental stewardship. So there's all kinds of exhibits on sustainability and conserving our parks and how to preserve these areas in the West. Fort Stanton, I was doing some digging. It's an 1800s military site, military camp. And then during World War II, it was used as a hospital and an internment site. So there's going to be some cool history to learn there. And then Lincoln Historic Site is just a cool old West town where Billy the Kid escaped from that famous courthouse. So we'll get to walk in his footsteps. Day 4, I don't think it's very like Roswell while we're there. So we're going to kind of explore science and curiosity and see where they kind of meet in the middle. I heard this museum research center is actually pretty incredible, and they do a good job of capturing people's experiences or believer experiences, and then how that kind of turns into myth, and then how that shapes personal perspectives. So I thought that'd be kind of cool for kids to look at. And then we're going to hit up Carlsbad Caverns. There's over 100 caves there. One chamber I heard you could fit multiple football fields in, so it's going to be just this incredible experience. And then we'll be stargazing while we're there, I think. Day 5, it's all about extreme environments. So Living Desert State Park is a state park. It's a zoo and botanical gardens, where it's not a zoo that we're necessarily used to with paved ways and cages. You're just walking through this desert environment, with the animals and the plants, and learning about how they've adapted to this harsh environment. I think it's the Chihuahuan Desert. And then we're going to head up to Guadalupe Mountains. I learned that was a 250 million or 250 million years ago, it was ocean reef. So we're going to get to walk the Permian Reef Trail, where we'll see all these fossil evidence. And then day 6 is our travel day home. But before we get on our plane, we're going to hit Chamizal National Memorial. This was a memorial dedicated to a border dispute. It was a 100-year border dispute between Mexico and the United States. And I just thought it'd be a really great way to kind of talk about diplomacy and compromise. And then we're going to go to Franklin Mountain State Park. It's one of the largest urban parks in the country. And you really get to see how like nature and cities can coexist. But what's cool is that from here, there's some overlooks where we can see the border wall. And I thought that would be some good conversations to have with the students. Juego Tank State Park, they have these cool stone basins that collect rainwater. So in these harsh environments for the past thousands and thousands of years, humans would settle in these areas because it was a water spot. And then we'll go home.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Excited and exhausted.
What do they eat? They're stargazing all night, do they sleep?
No, not really. So anyway, we like to fit as much as we can in because we have such short time and we want to make it worth it. So this trek would be our normal window of time. We like to go the week right before Easter, and we like to have the kids home before the holidays so they can be with their families. And also because of the schedule that week, they only miss 2.5 school days. So it really works out nicely. We take 26 students, we cap it at that because that way with our 3 chaperones and a nurse, we have an even 30, which is just nice for grouping and travel. It's manageable, people have room on the buses. And I tried so hard every year to keep this under 3,000. That was always my goal. I would tell my guy at Explorica, 2,999, that's it. Like we're not going a penny above. But everything's going up. And unfortunately, this was the best we could do. If I wanted to get it down, he said we'd have to cut a day. And I just couldn't do that. So we're gonna go with this price for now. But with that price, it's all of their flights, all of their transportation, not including the school bus to the airport. That's the only thing we have to pay for ourselves. We have 5 nights in hotels. The kids, they get their private bathrooms. They're always very nice hotels, usually like Holiday Inn Express kind of situation. So nice amenities. All meals are included, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We have a tour director with us the entire time. They meet us at the airport and then drop us off at the airport. And they make sure that everything goes smoothly and they deal with things while we're managing the students. We also, this pays for all of our tickets and tours and excursions and entry fees, just everything. Kids don't have to worry about a thing unless they want to buy a sweatshirt somewhere. We also get, this is a really nice thing that Explorica provides. There's a chaperone security guard outside the rooms every night. So we can get a good night's rest and they make sure the kids are staying quiet. Nobody's coming in or out and not a lot of, no interaction with public at night at the hotels. Covers the cost of the nurse and all of the tips that we would want to give. Oh, and also the bus drivers fees. And it is an expensive trip, but we do what we can to help kids raise money for this. Explorica offers sort of like a GoFundMe type of page that they can share through email and social media, and friends and family can help them save up for this. We always tell them too, you know, when it comes to birthdays and holidays and people are asking what you want, tell them you just want a couple dollars to put towards your trip or spending money. We've taken over the snack stand at the cross country meets. Students volunteer to run a snack stand. That brings in a lot of money for them. They've also started setting up snack stands at the middle school basketball games. And I run a pierogi sale and a blanket sale. Those do very well for the kids if they sell things. That blanket sale is actually getting more and more popular. People are already asking about the next design. So I'm kind of glad that that's something we've come up with. And then I always tell families if there's anything they want to do, I'll certainly help, you know, find space or time or resources to support them. And Dr. Scheibenhofer is always really great about getting on board with these family-driven opportunities. So if you approve this, I'll reach out to our 6th and 7th graders the week we get back from this trek. It's always kind of fun because people have been tracking our adventures on Instagram and then they want to go. So while that hype is real, I get in there and I'm like, hey, how about next year? So we'll advertise next week. no, 2 weeks. I'll give families 1 week to sign up with us. The first 26 who sign up, we'll let them enroll in the program. And then if we don't meet our cap, I'll just put it out to anybody who would like to join, anybody who signed up. And then all fall, winter, we'll fundraise, maybe go on a mini trek. We like to do that sometimes to teach you about trail etiquette and leave no trace principles. And then we'll travel in 2027 if you support us. I think that's all I have.
Yep, and her documentation is on board, is in board docs. You need to review anything, everything's in there. Any questions? Thank you, Allison.
Oh, yeah,
was
sure.
great.
Sorry, I went too fast.
Okay, no, any questions?
Where can I see the blanket?
Yeah,
Oh. I didn't. I usually just do like people order them and then we sell them, but I think next year, because they go so fast and then people want more, I probably will order a few more and sell them after the fact, so.
No, I think this is great. I remember when, this program very first started, I thought it was an excellent idea. So I appreciate all the hard work that you and everybody else, puts into it. I think it's a great opportunity to be able to afford our kids and it's a huge lift for you. There's a lot of work that goes into it, for sure. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
Does this, I'm not completely familiar with this other than the trip, but do you meet throughout the school year as a club,
It's sort of like a club. We don't really do too much except for prepare for the trip. So we'll do things like map out I like them to see where we're going. So we'll do like a geography lesson on, we're going to fly from here to here. These are the parks we're hitting. Let's talk about the environments. The kids do research leading up to the trips. So they're investigating the history, culture, plants, and animals, and then they become the tour guides while we're there. So we do meet for those kinds of things, just to kind of prepare them and help to enrich their experience. This week, it's all just been about like logistics. Do you have your student ID and what are we packing?
Sure.
How are we packing? But yeah, we meet, but it's not like a club necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah. Although I'd like for it to maybe morph into that at some point, like these mini treks. It would be really cool to do more of that.
Mhm.
So.
great, thank you.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you.
Part of the break.
Yeah. Next, we have our Supersonics supervisor, Denise Reckner, talking about their world championship competition in Houston.
Hi, I'm Dee Rector. Don't have anything as spectacular as that. Right now, we are in full build season, so we are concentrating on building our robot. We have 19 students in our club. We build a robot that's about 120 pounds that competes against 6 other teams on the field at once. And then we go through our rankings, and we just competed at Seneca and we came in second place. This is going on our 30th year. September will be our 30th year. I'm looking to go to Houston in the end of April, beginning of May for World Championship. We will, providing we qualify, we go to districts, and then providing we qualify at districts, we go to Worlds. And right now we are ranked in the world out of 3,500 teams. We're 197. In Pennsylvania, out of 97 teams, we're 5th. So the chances of us going to Houston are pretty high. So I'm kind of being a little proactive here and trying to get the approval to go to Houston, just because we won't find out till like this 17th of April, but we would be leaving the 28th of April to go to Houston. So 10 days to plan everything and get a board approval is kind of tough. So does anybody have any questions about the club? We do meet from January to when Houston is over, which is this time, May 2nd. And we meet twice a week from September to December. So it is a full-fledged club. We have sponsors that are within our district and outside of our district that fund a lot of us. And the kids do a lot of fundraising with their families and friends and stuff like that. Cost of the trip is about putting in about $1,800. And that includes everything, their flights, their hotels, all their food. Again, it's gonna be one of those things, if they wanna buy something, that's the money that they need to have with them. So,
See, there were two things we were talking about before the meeting started. One, that the team won the innovation award,
yeah, industrial design award.
industrial design. Do you want to mention what that was?
So
for?
the industrial
Awesome.
design award is something that sold an extra 25. Up to the
Farm state success.
district and all of I think that's a little issue. And we have one.
She's gonna fill a little bit.
For the pay.
play. Football thing, and like that's 10, like this year we know. And we have to have the money up for that, so it's always a matter.
Okay, are we? Okay. Received some push in the state, and this isn't the first time you've heard. The state, if if it gets passed, okay, if it gets passed playoffs, they goes against that. One way as far as
Yeah, so the big deal with the private schools is they go.
New Jersey, what happens is you get
Yeah.
okay.
Coverage and
And our
Too long.
Come forward is not, will the two of them everything.
It-
I was just reading, from the minutes.